So Rob and I are now sat kind of opposite the marina. The sun is setting. We've got the nice music going on in the background as well. It's a very chilled out vibe. The end of day one of racing is here. It's finished. We've had quite a busy day, Rob, haven't we?
It's been mental. It has been super busy. It's been Super League super busy. That's probably how it's best described, but it has been amazing. The thing that I've found the most mind-blowing is like how much access all the spectators get to the athletes here. Like there's no, if you go to an ITU race, you don't get to, like all the kids coming to the barriers and getting selfies with Vincent Luis and with Richard Murray and Rachel Klamer, and it's just brilliant. It's a completely brilliant vibe.
And even you can sit, like we were watching the first of the women's races right behind the pontoon where they dive in. You could see, you know, the photo, one of those famous sort of swim start photos, and it's just like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that wasn't because we had special press access. It was because the race started right in front of a little restaurant, and everyone could just walk in and watch the race start. It's been amazing.
And do you think it has come across as being quite different compared to what it does on TV?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's hard to get across. I mean, I've watched some of the stuff on YouTube and watched it when it's been live on the TV. It hasn't captured my imagination or in any way like it has done watching it live. It's just such a brilliant, fast, furious experience to watch it live and in the flesh.
It is pretty cool, and today we had some dominating performances, and just seeing these people at full flight is something else, isn't it?
Yeah, to see Kristian Blummenfelt in particular, Vincent Luis running at top speed down the hill. I mean, you expect them going well up the hill, but the power that they're putting out going down the hill was unbelievable.
I think I did get a video, so I'll try and put that up at some point. We'll get a video up there of Kristian, smashing it down the hill. So what we're going to do now is we're going to play out a whole load of post-race interviews that we got. So we got the top 3 from each of the races. So there are 2 semi-finals for the men. 2 for the women first, and then we had 2 semi-finals for the men. Top 5 from each semi-final, and then the 5 sort of fastest losers go through to Sunday's final. So there were, I'd say the men's racing, because there were more men, that was more exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It seemed like the depth of quality in the field was much closer in the men's race, whereas with the women's, after a couple of laps on the bike, you could kind of see who was going to qualify and who was going to win.
Yeah, but I think tomorrow having all the top athletes together is going to make it really pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see these guys go head to head. And they did a brilliant, obviously the draw that they did where they seeded the athletes, split the faster ones up into separate semi-finals, and so tomorrow it's really going to go off.
So again, you can follow it all at superleaguetriathlon.com. In the meantime, here are all of the post-race interviews that we did gather. But before we do that, because Rob's waving at me, so go on, Rob.
I just wanted to add, I also managed to get a couple of interviews earlier on with some of the athletes, some of the British athletes who were in the youth and junior races as well. So just some little, it's like there were 15 and 16-year-olds around who'd won races, and they were really cool kids, and I was just like, let's get them on the show and let's give them a little bit of airtime. So you'll never have heard of any of them. I've got selfies with all of them, so when they're at the Olympics in a few years, they're going on eBay.
Okay, so we're going to start off with them,
yeah,
and then we will go into the women's races and then the men's races, and then you will hear from basically Super League Triathlon's own Torsten Rad. He is Mr. Data, Mr. Statistician, so we grab a little word with him at the end. That is the church bells ringing in the background, which you might be able to hear, which means I am really going to shut up right now.
Right, so we've got a quick chat here with Daniel Dixon. Daniel, you've not just won the youth race, that was a domination, mate, a dojo domination. How did it feel?
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. Like it was really, really good to get out on the circuit again for Super League. So I raced Jersey last year, but been struggling this year with injury. So yeah, it's nice to get back on the Super League circuit for sure. Awesome.
So just like you swam away from everyone, you rode away from everyone, then you ran away from everyone. There was no weakness in your game today.
Yeah, well, I was really strong on the first triathlon, and then going into the second swim, seriously painful. And then on the second bike really started to feel it, but just keeping on pushing on. But yeah, certainly in the first triathlon I felt phenomenal. Really just pushed the pace, because I knew might as well push it when I'm good and then hang on if I start hanging. So yeah, I was really pleased with it. Yeah.
How hard is it swimming after you've already done a swim bike run? Because I'm standing there watching you guys running and pulling your goggles and hat back on, getting into the water. Is it as hard as it looks?
Yeah, I mean, getting the hat back on is probably the easy part. The getting back in the swim, I mean, I cannot believe how heavy my legs and my arms were. Like, I mean, my arms, I don't use them for the swim, and I was thinking, oh God, but I guess with lugging yourself up the hill, and obviously like you twisting side to side on the bike, then obviously it damages your arms as well. But God Almighty, I mean, getting in there for the second swim was just, it was tough. It was really tough.
How old are you at the moment?
I'm 17, so. Yeah, I'm top end of the youth category, so but it was quite nice to come back in because I've been racing up with the juniors and stuff, so it was nice to come back in my own category and have a good fun with it. So yeah.
So one to watch for the Olympics in 4 years' time. Then, listeners, you can say we heard him here first. Daniel Dixon, congratulations on winning Super League Youths.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, hopefully it goes all to plan. Cheers.
All right, so I've got here with us Lizzie Edge, who's just finished third. She's on the podium in the youth's female race. Congratulations. How was your race?
Thank you. It was really good. It was really tough. I didn't have a very good first swim. I got pushed out quite far because it's so sunny. I couldn't really see where I was going.
It was really rough out there, wasn't it?
It was. Like, I got a bit pushed around on the first swim, but because it was spread out to the second swim, I had a bit of a better line. So it was much better on the second.
And you had an epic battle on that final run there for the silver bronze medal position. How was that for you coming up the last hill?
Oh, it was so hard. I had a really tough race with Isla and one of the Italians. They were both really good, and I'm really pleased to get one.
Well, I'm just really glad we've got you on the show now before you become an Olympic medalist. So congratulations on your race.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, great race. Honourably. So congratulations. Great race.
Thank you. It was very hard, but it was good because I was pushing with Yuko, and it was better together, I think.
And you now have the fast shoot for tomorrow. Yeah. What will that mean?
I didn't use it in Jersey, but I think tomorrow it will be different because it's a very hard race course. So I think I will use it tomorrow.
And you look really comfortable out there today. Did it feel comfortable?
I tried to push at the beginning of the race, and after when I saw I had a little gap with Yuko, I tried to stay calm, cool, and to keep some energy for tomorrow.
And any tactics for tomorrow?
I don't have any tactics. It's always in feeling,
so just give it everything.
Okay, I will see.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. So Yuko finishing second today. You've got a massive smile on your face.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Yeah.
How did the race unfold for you?
Oh yeah, I had a really good swim. I felt really good, and I like hilly course like this. So just focus on how to take the corner or follow Cassandra and yeah.
And were you hoping to catch up with her on that final run?
I knew that she's really a strong runner, so it's really hard to beat her on the run. So I just try to get the spot for tomorrow. Yeah.
And my colleague was with your dad, and your dad was saying how proud he is of you today.
Yeah, I'm really happy to have my parents here. So yeah.
And what are your thoughts going into tomorrow?
We will have bike time trial. So like I said, I like these hilly course. So try to do my best, and hopefully I can get good performance and keep my grey jersey.
So yes, this is it. Your grey jersey is for the fastest transition. So
but tomorrow I'm not sure yet. So
okay.
Yeah.
So what are your top tips for the fastest transition? Why are you in that grey jersey?
I'm not sure. There's not like a secret. I just focus on what I need to do. Stay calm, no panic.
I like that. Stay calm and no panic. Well, congratulations. Fingers crossed for that tomorrow, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Summer Rappaport, well done. So fourth today. How was it out there?
Oh, it was good. It's been I think about 8 weeks since my last race, so I felt a little bit rusty. I made some dumb mistakes in the first round, and it cost me a little bit, but I was able to do better as the race went on, and hopefully I just have the cobwebs busted out for tomorrow.
I was going to say, does it feel like, once you've done that hill once or twice, you're like, right, I'm here, I'm on it, it's about getting through to tomorrow?
Yeah, I didn't really think that until the second round because there are still quite a few people in the mix, but once I got to the second round, it was like, okay, just focus on executing well and just having like a good safe race and making it through.
Do you know what's going on behind you? Are you aware of it while you're racing?
A little bit, but only what we can see. And I mean, there's a tiny little bit where you can see what's going on behind you, but you're starting to go at a pretty fast speed down the hill, so it's not really safe. But a little bit of awareness, yeah.
But I guess because of that, you just have to keep on pushing all the time.
It's true, yeah. And tomorrow will be even more full on.
So what now? How do you recover in time for tomorrow?
Going to get some food, get on the trainer and do a recovery, and then get a little bit of a massage later. So just resting up.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on making it through, and we'll probably catch up tomorrow.
Thank you.
No, not really. Just laying down.
So, Katie Zaferes, congratulations, winner of the second semi-final today. Right, what were the tactics going on with you and Rachel there at the end?
It was just such a hard choice between getting the short shoot or just being tactical and conserving energy. But I was running close to her, and at that point, it's like, well, if I'm going to be with her anyways, I might as well go for the short shoot. And she kind of talked to me and was like, do you want the short shoot? And I was like, well, yeah, I do. Like, I would have been far back if I didn't. So I went for it, and I think she kind of let me have it. But
she did a little gesture with her hand when you went past.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really just thought for the amount of energy I was putting forth anyways, it was worth it to get the little advantage for tomorrow.
And obviously you would have known coming into this race that Cassandre had got the short shoot from her semi-final as well.
Yeah, it's all kind of like decision making between if you run slower, is that going to be worth as much time as the short shoot would be? And I would say I raced relatively controlled throughout the race, and the biggest push I had was up the hill for the final part. So, yeah, I hope it was the right decision.
Well, you looked pretty in control out there for the whole race. Did it feel like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely felt like going up the hill. I went up in my small chain ring and kind of tried out things, tried to get really familiar with the course, because tomorrow with the bike TT, I feel very strong on the bike, but I do much better when I know the course and am familiar with it and feel confident on it. So today it was good to be able to do those corners at speed and everything like that.
And are you looking forward to that extra element of having that bike TT tomorrow?
If it works to my advantage, yes. If it doesn't, maybe not. But no, I think I do. I mean, it'll be good for me because it's something I've never done, and it's a good experience to do no matter what. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go for it. And also that's really hard too, because you're going to do a all-out TT and then you're going to go do the same thing again. So it'll be a really tough race tomorrow.
And just great fun being back here racing Super League.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful place, and I honestly think this venue is one of the most epic looking venues and one of the most challenging with the hill. I mean, everyone talks about the uphill, but really the downhill is, to me, that's the part that really warps your legs. And I remember from last year running with Kirsten and Summer Rappaport, I'm like, they just chucked it down the hill, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this. So I'm ready for that for tomorrow, as I think there's going to be some aggressive running tomorrow.
And do you get to have a little lie down now? What will you actually do to make sure everything's all set for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll do a little spin on the bike and possibly jump in the water if we're allowed. The men are going off, so I'm not actually sure that's a possibility. And then I'll get some massage. And then it's nice because our race is earlier than the men, so we get a bit more, well, we don't get more time, but like this evening, it seems more relaxed as we're done now.
Perfect. Good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Rachel, how you doing?
I'm fine. Not great, but I'm fine. Thanks.
You should be more than great. That was a really solid second there. Now, you really took it to the field. I was super impressed with your aggressive racing. Was that part of your strategy?
It was honestly just in transition where I tried to have some gaps so I could take it a bit easier and like on the run. So when we started running on the last lap, I was like in two minds. I was like, should I go for a short shoot or stick to the plan and just
qualify for tomorrow. And then I ended up running with Katie, and we were like talking because they said like, what if they finish together? And I was like, Katie, you want to finish together? And she's like, no. I was like, okay, she wants it badly, so I'm not even going to try. So I was like, off you go. It was quite fun, yeah.
I was going to say on the video we were watching from the TV feed, it looked like the two of you were having a little chat, and the commentators were saying, are they going to try and come over the line together and see if we have to give them both the short shoot? So it's good to know you having the same conversation they were.
Yeah, true. And at least it's allowed to finish together. I mean, we race together, so you might as well finish together sometimes. But it's it's racing, so you want to win, so then go for it.
So you look relatively comfortable today within yourself. What's your plan for tomorrow that you're going to do differently?
Hope to recover well for tomorrow. To be honest, the last 3 weeks I haven't done a lot of training, and I'm afraid I didn't notice that today. On some of the disciplines I did not feel strong. I'm strong enough to be there, but not strong enough to really push it. So hopefully this was a little bit of extra push for tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better.
A little bit of a wake-up call for the body before you really go and lay it down tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I hope for.
All right, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Perfect.
Right, we've got Sophie Caldwell here. Sophie, the big question on my mind is, having watched that swim start, how do you gain 2 lengths on everybody when you've just dived in?
It's all the reactions, I think. I was just telling my mum actually that when I'm on the start line, it's slightly different to ITU because they say, you're under the starter's hands, but then they don't say on your mark. So as soon as they say that, you're kind of ready. And I was saying to her today, I was kind of shaking, getting ready to go. So I think my reactions are just pretty good because, I just seem to dive in, do a couple of strokes, and I'm kind of clear. So I'm fortunate for that because it was really close to that buoy today.
Well, I've got a photo I'm going to show you in a minute. I was standing right behind you as you took off the line, and literally by the time you surfaced out the water, you were a length ahead of everybody else, and everyone standing around me was like, how is she... even Olivia was standing next to me. She's like, how is Sophie so far ahead already?
And everyone thinks I false start. I promise you I don't false start. Even, Liv, I train with her quite a lot. She's like, I just don't get it. I just don't know how you do it. So she just leaves me to it. So, but no, I was pleased. And, I just want to keep holding my blue jersey.
Well, you've got the blue jersey on, the fastest swimmer. What are the tactics for tomorrow? You've comfortably qualified there to get yourself into the final. And obviously you can't give the game away too much, but any ideas how you're going to play it tomorrow?
I mean, obviously we've got the bike time trial first, and it was in the back of my mind today to try and qualify as high up as possible because then I'd hopefully be in the first group tomorrow because some people in the second group are only going to get about 10 minutes before the start of the final, and I kind of thought if you're going to go hard in that, you need to have a bit more than 10 minutes. So hopefully I've managed my effort enough to get into that first group to give myself a bit more time so I can go a bit harder on that, and then just full go from the gun really. That's always my tactic and hope for the best.
Do you enjoy this sort of short, sharp style of racing?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, it really does. You have to think on your feet a lot. You're always thinking 10 steps ahead, and even now I'm still making mistakes, and this is my 4th championship race, so still making mistakes, still learning, but I think it's great for developing athletes as well. You get the opportunity, with the juniors as well, you get the opportunity to race up, and everything's condensed. You have to think, you always have to be on, and it's good.
And ideal world tomorrow, what does the podium going to look like?
I don't know, that podium's going to be tough to get on. I think if the bike time trial goes well, I think it could really split up, which will play into my hands because the run for me is a weakness. I thought this hill was fine on the bike, and then I got onto the run and I was like, oh wow, this is really hard. I'm just going to try and go out hard and hang on for as long as possible. I assume that would be what I go for tomorrow.
And who are the field that you've been racing against have you learned the most from, sort of racing shoulder to shoulder with?
Do you know what? I just think everyone, even people that are new to Super League, they come up with new tactics. In Jersey when it was, you were getting eliminated over the line, and I got out in front of Liv, and then I turned and she was right behind me out of transition, and I was like, I'm sure I was out in front of you quite a bit out of the swim, and she just picked her shoes up to get over the mountain line, and I was like, I didn't even think of that. So there's so much stuff that you just pick up little snippets from everyone and just different people's style of racing, and then you just evolving all the time and helping each other out, which I think is great. No other triathlon event are you that close friendship wise with people, so it's great to learn off people and get the inside scoop.
And one last thing, so looking forward to the Olympics next year. Obviously it's kind of a different opportunity here to race the very top athletes outside of that kind of high pressure ITU situation, isn't it? Are you taking confidence from the way you're dealing the pain out to them over the swim?
Yeah, it's hard being a Brit girl. Jessalyn wants, she's another class for swimming, and she can hold that pace for 1500. So she's a force to be reckoned with. But the Olympics, it's always going to be a hard one. We've got GB have got 5 girls ranked inside the top 14, 15 in the world. So, if you make that team, that's a feather in its cap in itself. And if I'm honest, I kind of feel like Tokyo's probably a games too soon for me. I'm improving year on year, but just probably not at a rate quick enough to be competing at the Olympics just yet. But I'll take all the opportunities I can, and racing here, it's that experience and learning and hopefully developing to be an all-round athlete.
Well, I encourage you to watch this swim back on video later on tonight and look at it through your opponent's eyes before you decide it's an Olympics too soon for you. Listen, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we've got Richard Murray here. Richard, congratulations on qualifying. I'll tell the readers, you've just crossed the line and gone straight for the wine gums, so well done, buddy.
Yeah, no, thanks. I saw the other athletes do it, so I thought, maybe this is what the pros are doing nowadays. It was out of the comfort zone, that's for sure. It's been quite a while since I've done this, since February, and about two odd weeks of training. So I was definitely out the comfort zone, but very happy to make it through. I mean, I thought, if I don't make it through till tomorrow, I won't be overly disappointed. I've got to be realistic with how much fitness I've got. Quite happy to make it through. And I think Henry and I seemed like we were in the same position on the run. I think both him and I thought, maybe we were not on top form, but we can make it through till tomorrow.
Well, it's super tough racing on this course with it all being basically uphill or downhill, and the organisers, I think, have done it that way to shake it up so that, like, big names like yourself, all of a sudden people are looking around and think, I've got Richard Murray behind me here, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, this racing changes so quickly. I mean, from the swim, see how the position's changing all the time. So, if you're your strength, you'll move up on the swim. And then it comes to the bike. If you're not super strong, you'll lose a few spots. So I was definitely waiting for the bike. On the run legs definitely weren't as usual, but I could get away with, holding on to some talent. Happy to make it through for sure.
How was it jumping into the water for that second swim when you were already pretty gassed?
Yeah, that I definitely felt like probably a couple of cement blocks that I've just got thrown into the water. The stroke definitely wasn't there. And I think I saw Henry come past me, and he wasn't moving that quickly either. So I thought, okay, it's not just me here. He's definitely passed me quicker before. So we got on the bike. I mean, I probably lost like 20 seconds out on the swim, which is not far off what I say what I usually lose. But when I'm really fatigued, my stroke goes completely out of the window. So. We've got another chance at it tomorrow, so you can give it a good go.
So how are you feeling about tomorrow then? What do you think your prospects are?
I never put myself out of something. You always got to be positive, and you always got to think the best version of yourself, even if you're in a rough place. We'll see how it goes. The bike time trial first. Looking forward to that. Trying to get a little bit of gap on some of the guys on the swim. So I'm definitely going to go pretty hard on the bike tomorrow. Just try and get as much of a gap as I can on some of the guys, especially the swimmers, to make sure that I come out and I'm in contention when we start the enduro.
All right, well, awesome. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll watch out for you in the time trial tomorrow morning. Ripping it up, Richard. Thanks again.
Good stuff. Thanks, guys.
So, congratulations, third place. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit tired, obviously. I don't think if anyone says they hold a lot back on that, they don't. I mean, it's so close, even from 5th to 6th who don't make it. You're not holding back. I swallowed a bit of ocean water, so I spewed up a bit at the end. But, it was a good effort. I felt a lot better than a few weeks ago in Jersey. So
I've got to say, Tyler, you looked awesome running down the hill. Helen and I were standing here going, wow, Tyler Mislawchuk, look at him go, man. You look really, really great run for him. Were you feeling good on the run?
Yeah, I was. And I was. A lot of the guys started the runs really quick. And I kind of worked my way into it and came back on them in the second half. Maybe just a bit sluggish, maybe not enough warm-up in the last few days. So hopefully tomorrow I can hit it right from the gate. But yeah, downhill running I've really worked on in the last few years, and I think you could tell out there that was one of benefiting me.
Yeah, definitely. We were standing just here behind us on the downhill, and I was taking some photos and slow-mo video and stuff, and your form is just fantastic, man. What are your tactics for tomorrow for the final? You're safely qualified. Can you take down Vincent Luis? What are the tactics to bring down the man in pink?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I don't think anyone has a specific strategy on how to take him down. Obviously, he's a good all-around athlete, and I think my only advantage over someone like that is that maybe I'm a bit lighter than him going up the hills. That's probably where you play to your advantage, especially in the run. But yeah, I mean, he's one of the best downhill runners in the sport, so it's hard to even use my strength on him there.
All right, well, listen, we'll be watching out for you tomorrow, lay the pay down on the uphills. I'm excited to see how the tactics play, but well done today. Safe qualification, and we'll watch your race in the final tomorrow, Tyler.
Cheers. Thanks for the interview, buddy.
Pierre Lecourt, congratulations, top 3 finish here today.
Yeah, I'm really glad. I wanted to be in the top 5. I think I can being on the top 3, it's really good to secure a good spot tomorrow on the TT, to be probably on the first group, because I will have a little bit more rest about compared to the other guys, so I'm pretty glad.
And your background is it swimming, isn't it? Is that right? Your background, did you come as a strong swimmer?
Yeah, exactly. I was a swimmer. Yeah, I started swimming and then I started triathlon when I was 19 years old.
And you were European champion in Glasgow last year, weren't you? So what motivation did that give you?
I think it's I'm doing Super League just to work on my weakness and to improve my strength, because you cannot have weakness, otherwise you are out of the race. And here it's more like a training to see where I am and to get more confidence for the bigger races. But this is definitely a huge races, because everyone is there and you cannot have any weakness.
And for France, going into next year and the Olympics, and the mixed relay is like, you're really good at it, aren't you?
Yeah, this is why I'm trying to be good at the Super League, because it's definitely a good training for mixed relay and even for the longest races. So I think you have everything here to work, and this is why I want to be a part of the Super League, because I think it's going to be the future of our sport, and even I can work a lot around the weekend, so I cannot complain.
And tactics for tomorrow, how will you approach tomorrow?
Yeah, there is a lot of tactics going on. You have to be in front, you have to be really wise, be in the rhythm of the race, not having a time out. So tomorrow I will try to be in front as much as possible, to have a good TT bike, but it's not my strength compared to the others. They are outstanding bikers, and my strength is more swimming and running. But I will try my best, and I have nothing to lose. So yeah, I don't want to say I can wait for tomorrow, because I'm wrecked right now. But yeah, I will see how it goes tomorrow.
And you said you're wrecked now. Psychologically, how do you sort of put that tiredness aside and go, right, refocus?
Yeah, from now to tomorrow, I have to get ready to recover as much as possible and do everything I can to be as fresh as I can.
Well, bonne chance, and we might see you tomorrow.
Merci. Ciao, ciao.
So, Martin Van Riel, great racing out there.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a really nice backdrop here as well, and like the course is awesome, and yeah, the performance was pretty good today, so I'm really happy with that.
And when you are going into it, knowing that there's a final at stake, do you adjust your tactics a little bit?
Yeah, of course you adjust it a little bit, but in the beginning it's just the first half or even 3/4 of the race just going all out, because yeah, you have to make sure you are in that top 5, and then in the last run I saw I couldn't catch Blummenfelt anymore, and I was quite comfortable behind me, so I could
relax a bit.
Yeah, I could relax a little bit and think about tomorrow, but yeah, in the beginning it was just full gas, so it still hurt.
And when do you think you sort of lost contact with Kristian? Because he was on it. He was on another planet.
Yeah, I had a really bad transition after the swim, getting on my bike. Yeah, that's something only Super League does in this format, because we have to bike again after already doing a triathlon, and my shoes were kind of not in a position I could easily get into them, and I lost contact with Kristian there.
And how would you say your season has been this year going into Tokyo next year?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good season. My main goal this year was to end on the podium of a World Series, and I did that. I finished on the podium once, so I'm really happy with that. And also consistently I had a good season, because I was 5th on the overall ranking. But yeah, still I'm looking for more of those exceptional results coming into next year, and hopefully repeat that at the Olympics then.
And are you with Joel Filiol and his squad?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the environment like there, like in a year like now, whereby you all want that same goal of Olympic gold?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's first of all, it's a group of really nice guys and really good friends, so there's not like a hostile atmosphere or anything, even though we are in the end battling for the same world title and the same Olympic title. But yeah, it's just awesome to be training with all these guys. You can race with world champion Vincent Luis. You can race with 3 times world champion Mario Mola on a training, and you can compare yourself a little bit. So yeah, that's really awesome to be able to do that. And I think Joel is, for me personally, the best coach. And I really like the approach, and hopefully we can get one step higher for next year.
And do you think that being surrounded by the likes of Mario and Vincent has really helped you to up your game?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the most important thing what Joel watches in athletes. It's what can he add to our group. And I mean, guys like Mario and Vincent obviously can learn me a little bit on the run, I think, or 1 or 2. But yeah, I'm a strong biker. I'm a pretty good swimmer, so I can maybe give some of that to them then. And it's like everybody has their own thing, but I definitely learned a lot from these guys, and they helped me grow as an athlete.
Martin, I'm going to let you go and recover a little bit for tomorrow. Yeah. And good luck.
Thank you very much.
Hayden Wilde, congratulations on today's race. How the heck are you feeling? Because you took a battering, didn't you?
Yeah, it didn't go as smoothly as I wanted to. I actually had a really good swim, a good start. I looked to my right, no, to my left, sorry, and there was absolutely no one beside me, and got around the boys really comfortably and was in a good spot. Came onto the bike, and unfortunately there was another crash and I was amongst it, but lost about 5 seconds. Didn't go down, just had to unclip and get over it. Got into the run a bit kind of hot in the red zone, and then when I got to Vincent, just cooled it down a bit. When I jumped in the water, I knew I wasn't going to stay with him, so I was either just go with him and be in the no man's land, or just wait for the boys behind him. Tomorrow's where the big race is, so I just took it really easy in the water. Waited for the boys to catch me. We worked together on the bike to stay away from the 3 guys behind. And the running legs were there, and ran myself into second, and hopefully a good start position for tomorrow.
Was there ever, because you had a crash coming into this weekend, didn't you? What happened?
Yeah, so on the course familiarisation, there was a little bit of gravel from the construction the other day. So I came around and my front wheel kind of just span out a bit, unfortunately. That happens. You're never going to have a clear path on the road. That's part of life, but. Went onto the ground, split a little bit on my face, got 7 stitches, a few cuts and bruises on the shoulder and the forearm, but that happens, and I'm feeling okay. So
you made of nails.
Yeah, well, Kiwi born, so you just got to push through it and just give it some hard tucker and push on.
Did it hurt though at all? Could you feel it sting in your face when you jumped in that, when you dived in?
No, actually my face is not the sorest. It's actually my forearm that's the sorest, to be honest. Just because it's that top abrasion feeling, so it kind of stings a little bit. But it actually felt alright, and the cut's actually perfect position that I can actually put my goggles on. So that's a bit of a bonus as well. So yeah.
And is there ever any choice between goggles or no goggles in that water? Were you talking with Tyler about goggles?
Yeah, Tyler's goggles fell off when he dived in, but I was thinking about going goggleless. I've done it before. Kiwis are well known with Andrew Hewitt doing the Rio Games without goggles, so it's happened before, and I was thinking about it, but if I could get my goggles on and I can see the bubbles for me, it's a win. So I got the goggles on, it was all good to go.
And you've had an awesome season, so being here now is just kind of icing on cake, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I've been looking forward to racing Super League at the end of the year. It's the pinnacle of triathlon for us, and especially finishing with the best in the world and having a real good time and good atmosphere, and you get to come early and look around, and it's a real nice way to finish off the season, and I can't wait till 2020 comes around the corner, and hopefully I can get my Olympic selection. But we've got some real strong lads in New Zealand, and we'll see how it goes. But looking forward to the next Super League season after the Olympic year, and there's 6 races, so no matter what happens tomorrow, I know I've got some opportunities next year.
Hayden, I'm going to let you go and cool down,
so
and we'll hopefully catch up tomorrow as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Have a good one. Cheers.
Kristian Blummenfelt has just absolutely dominated his semi-final. Congratulations, man. That was a very impressive performance.
Well, thank you very much. It was really good to get this kind of test.
But again, with the new format, with the semi-final and final, it's actually all about tomorrow. So even though it's fun to win today, it's all about tomorrow and getting ready for that. It's going to be hard, and I guess Vincent has a lot left from in his tank.
How do you feel now after the back of that? Because it looked, from a perspective of a spectator, you looked like you were going absolutely full gas, flat out the whole way around, man. Running uphill, running downhill. How did it feel?
Felt good, like especially on the bike in a run, and then jumping into the water again with a gap. I wasn't really sure if I should push and try to keep the gap or just take my time and think a little bit about tomorrow. And I think I did kind of a middle thing there, not pushing too hard and not swimming too easy either. But again, I felt good, and it's an easier course for me than the Jersey. I was really struggling with all the corners there. It's basically just a go-kart course, so I will say I like this course better.
And you get the short shoot for tomorrow now, so you've got that up your sleeve as well.
Yeah, but also Vincent has it. So it doesn't really give me any advantage, because if you want to win tomorrow, you need to beat him. But at least you can't give him an advantage before the race, so it's good to kind of be even there.
Well, if anyone's going to take him down tomorrow, it's going to be you with the way you've raced today, man.
I guess a lot of people will be able to learn from today and maybe back it up with a stronger performance tomorrow. But hopefully I can be up there and fight for the win.
Tactics for tomorrow?
I think the tactic with Super League is no tactic. You just have to go all out. And just for sure use the hill and use the bike and take advantage of that, my strength.
All right, well, I'm super excited to watch the race tomorrow, man. It's going to be a battle for the ages. So congratulations on the semi. Go and get recovered, and we'll see you racing tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, so Vincent Luis, you looked absolutely dominant out there today. What an incredible performance, man. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy. I mean, I have the short shoot. I won my heat, so all good. That was my goal before the race, getting like the short shoot without digging too much and wasting too much energy. I had to make the other surface too, so that I think I execute the plan, as my coach would say. I think Hayden and Tyler had to suffer a bit behind me, and I can manage my last run a bit more easily. And yeah, that was a perfect execution of what I wanted to do. Now we all know the most important is tomorrow, so we'll wait and see.
Well, one interesting thing for me watching was you're such a strong runner downhill as well as uphill. I looked at your body form and I thought, right, you're a big, strong guy. The downhills might be there's maybe a bit of vulnerability, but you ran away from everybody going down the hill as well. Is that something you really enjoy?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big guy. I'm 10 to 15 kilograms more than guys like Henry Skoman or even Tyler. So I had to take an advantage of everything, and downhill is my advantage, I would say. But yeah, I'm trying to dig a bit more uphill, stay with the guys, and I really like this course. I mean, it's really nice. It gives a chance to everyone, every body type and everything. And you know, I spent the last 5 years to run a lot, 160, 170k per week, and just trying to build my body to be a runner. Coming from the swim, it's really hard. I went through a lot of injuries, but now I'm kind of healed and I can run really fast off the bike, and that's what's important in triathlon. And yeah, I think I learned a lot in the past few years. Running wise, and now I'm ready for every kind of scenario, every kind of races, and that's what we want to be for the next Olympic.
It looks like these Super League races are a really good chance for you to race people outside of the ITU pressure cooker, but still race the same athletes head to head and find different strengths that you've got. Are you taking confidence from your performance here at Super League?
Yeah. I mean, last year I finished second at Worlds behind Mario, and 2 weeks later we raced the Super League in Jersey, and I was like really dominating, and it gives you some confidence for sure. And when you finish a sprint finish with Henry, and 6 months later you're racing him again in Yokohama, you're not scared about the sprint finish. So yeah, for sure it gives you confidence, even if I'm aware that it's not the same kind of racing. It's really shorter and it really suits the good swimmer, what I am, I guess. So yeah, I mean, it's a kind of race that really suits me. I grew up with the French Grand Prix, this fast racing when you have to play some helmet hit with the guy on the bike to make your own room. And I started this when I was even a youth, 14, 15 years old, racing the big stars. And yeah, I made my way through triathlon, and I'm now world champ, leader of the Super League until maybe tomorrow. I'll see. But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of racing I like, and as long as it exists, I will race it.
One last thing. So you've got those very Zowie green Nike 4% shoes on. The rumour is there a pair that are going to match your kit appearing for the finals tomorrow?
I don't know. Yeah, I got them at home. Nike sent me a bunch of pink pairs for the for the race, but I don't know. I'm not superstitious, but I'm just like everything can happen. You're used to these shoes. You won the world title with these shoes, so keep them and you will train the winter with the pink shoes and maybe wear them next year. But for sure, if I'm lucky enough to be on the podium tomorrow, I wear them for the podium and for the after party.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time, man.
Thank you.
So the racing has finished, and there was obviously a very dominating, two dominating wins in the men's race and a very great domination in one of the women's races. Graham Atchison, you're like the data man for Super League Triathlon. So Vincent Luis looked amazing. Kristian Blummenfelt looked amazing. And then Cassandre Beaugrand as well. She looked pretty good too, didn't she?
Yeah, they did, and Zaferes as well in that other semi-final. I think it's going to be interesting tomorrow with the introduction of the time trial in the morning. Basically, that's the bit for me it's going to be interesting to see who takes that slight advantage going into the first swim, because it changes that first swim as well, because that swim will become a time trial in effect as well, because they won't be bunching together so much. So depending on who gets a jump on somebody else in that time trial could affect the race.
So according to your data, what should or how might it pan out?
Well, I'd be excited to see. I think Hayden Wilde and Martin van Riel are the best cyclists we've got here. So I've spoken to both of them already, and they've said the same thing. It's all about this time trial basically, and they're going to absolutely go for it. Kristian Blummenfelt as well, the Norwegian. He's a good cyclist, and we've all seen him. We saw him racing today. When he gets the idea in his head, he will absolutely go for it. So it'll be exciting to see what he does, and I think they should put a bit of time into Louis. Whether or not it's going to be enough, because we saw today Louis' swim, he just came through. When he wanted to, he just took it away from the guys. So it'll be interesting to see how much time they need to get away from Louis, basically.
That is it. So, do you reckon they can do it, or do you think he's just on such good form at the moment that it's unlikely?
I think it's unlikely, yeah, unfortunately. I really want it to happen because I think it would be a fantastic race. But Louis not as... I think on the bike, his data doesn't look that good because he doesn't have to try, like he's always thereabouts. He just sits in the pack and he knows that he can get away from people on the run, so he doesn't have to try that hard. I think he will be better on the bike than most people expect in this time trial tomorrow, so it should be... I still think it's going to be Louis. It's hard to go away from him, basically.
What about in the women's race? Because that is actually pretty interesting now, because obviously Katie Zaferes has got the short shoot, Cassandre Beaugrand as well, she's got the short shoot. Both of them look pretty good today.
Yeah, and Katie's bike is technically better than Cassandra's, so I think she should get the advantage of that time trial. Again, it's how much is enough really in this situation, because, well, to be honest, actually, when I ran the simulation for the race, they came out at exactly the same time.
Really?
And I gave it to Cassandra because, on the run you'd think that she might just pip Zaferes, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see with this introduction of the bike time trial, because Cassandra's bike is not as good as Katie's, so if Katie can get a bit of an advantage there, then she might be able to take it away again.
And who might get that third place then? Let's say that they get 1 and 2 on form and what they look like today and stats. Who else is in with a chance of getting on that podium?
Rachel Klamer, basically. Her bike actually is... I think she's the best cyclist left in, because we're missing George Taylor-Brown, Jodie Stimson, those kind of guys who are very good cyclists. So Rachel Klamer is probably the best cyclist left in. So I'd expect her to win the time trial overall, but then Cassandra and Katie to bring it back in the actual the race itself.
We will see if the predictions happen tomorrow. Graham, thank you so much.
Not a problem, thanks.
So those were the thoughts of Graham, a Super League Triathlon's very own statistician. Rob, who is your money on for tomorrow in the men's race?
In the men's race, honestly, my head says I can't see past Vincent Luis after his performance, but my heart says Kristian Blummenfelt.
I think I'd go with that as well. And in the women's, I reckon I'm going to go Zaferes.
Then I'm going to go with Cassandre Beaugrand. I think they're going to have a fantastic head-to-head again tomorrow. I think the bike is going to tip it in Zaferes' direction, but we need different predictions, don't we?
Right, talking of different predictions and talking of going head-to-head, yeah, Rob's laughing already. What are we doing tomorrow morning, Rob? Not even lying.
Yeah, so instead of just having a rest from today. There's an age group race which we've managed to get ourselves entries into. So it's an enduro swim run. So 300 metre swim, 2k run. So that's twice on the circuit of the hill. Jump back in again. Hopefully we'll remember to take our shoes off. 300 metre swim, back out, 2.5 laps on the run to finish at the top of the hill. So we hadn't really, this hill's pretty brutal, isn't it, Malta Mountain?
So yeah, I think Malta Mountain, so we have both run up here, but we've only run up it once, and that was on a very sort of steady job. We weren't together at all. I think you were filming a selfie all the way up. And I thought, it's not that bad. I mean, a fell race a typical fell race is harder when they just send you straight up a mountain. But actually, I think it's having to do it repeatedly.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not looking forward to it. It's going to be utter pain, and I've got no idea what we've got ourselves into, if I'm perfectly honest. But so here's what we've decided to do, listeners. We had a little sit down at breakfast and we weighed up our relative swim and run strengths, and we think Helen's going to be about 30 seconds faster than me on the swim.
30 seconds over 300 metres?
Yeah, I reckon.
Gee, I don't think so.
I think so. Well, it swings back the other way, doesn't it? Because we said we were going to give you a minute a mile, but the course is a kilometre. So if we say...
So a minute a kilometre, sounds good.
You're not having a minute a kilometre. I'll give you a minute and a half for each run. How about that? So 3 minutes from me for the run. Yeah. You give me a minute back for the swim.
So basically 2 minutes.
So 2 minutes on paper.
Sugar.
I'm chasing Helen down for 2 minutes. We're going to see if we can get to start next to each other. If we can, I'm telling you, it's all gloves are off. It's going to be dunking. It's going to be feet pulling.
Oh my God! And I think, Rob, apparently we have to semi-dive when we get back in. That's going to be a disaster.
I'm doing a bomb. I'm bombing. I'm jumping in, and it's curling up into a ball and jumping in like that. It's going to be the Carl Lewis hitch kick into the water. There's no way I'm trying it. I'm going to lose my goggles regardless.
We will report back on how our race goes, but more importantly, about all of the Super League Triathlon action. And if you are listening to this maybe on Saturday night after we've published it, or Sunday morning, then do head to superleaguetriathlon.com and you can watch all of the racing, because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, good stuff. Right, it's been an awesome time here in Malta. We're going to have some more interviews lined up for the usual show we're going to publish next week, which will be out first thing Tuesday morning, if we manage to get home on time and get some sleep. What an adventure.